Hey guys, JoeWildthing here, and today we are having a new episode of New Game, if you've ever heard of that. Basically, in New Game, I talk about a game I've just recently been playing and explain what it's about and why it's good and why you should play it. So the game in question is Might and Magic Duel of Champions. It is a card-based game, mainly focused on online matchmaking and heavily focuses on the microtransactions. Basically, what you do in the game, you have a deck of cards, of course, and you try to get your opponent's hero down to 0 life. The hero is like the main. Think of it as a deck master, and is you. You are that person. As soon as that dies, you lose the duel. The hero can do one of 4 things. It can either increase... well, technically it does 2 things, but it's 4 options. You can either choose to increase the strength, magic power, or the flag thing, whatever that is. I can't remember what it was. Or you can spend one little mana point to draw a card. All of your moves are based on like this counter, which acts as your mana, like in Magic the Gathering. If you've ever played that, it's fairly simple. Basically, every creature or spell has a mana cost, and you have to use that, and you have to use that much mana to use that creature or spell. It's fairly simple, and means it kind of eliminates the worry of running out of mana. You always gain 1 mana after each turn. So there is literally no worry of running out of mana during the duel. Thanks to this, it's very, very easy to get back into it, and as long as you have the cards in your hand to do it, you can come back from any given situation. So in this duel, I was using the Necromancer deck, and the other guy was using the sort of Light Warriors deck, or whatever it was. I hence got my ass kicked, and because I'm still very new to it, and I didn't really have the right cards for it. He had some really good cards. The microtransaction element to it, it's basically you can spend real life cash to buy either seals or gold, to then buy packs of cards to increase your to make your deck better. Basically, you can earn gold by logging in every day, and you'll get an increased amount of gold. But if you want the really good card, you'll have to spend real life cash to buy seals, which will then get you the premium packs, which will offer much better cards. The game itself is pretty similar and very linear. It's not really that complicated. The only complications come in with the card effects, which are very easy to understand because they actually have the definition of each ability written next to it, which makes things a lot simpler. It's a very bare bones thing. It's mainly creatures with a little bit of spell power here and there to kill off some enemies. Each duel lasts around, I'd say, about 20 minutes, depending on how good you both are. It basically comes down to who has an open lane before the other. Because basically you have four lanes, and you can put creatures you can put melee creatures in the front row and ranged creatures in the back row. You can't attack the ranged. The front row cannot attack the back row if they have an opposing front row enemy. But the ranged enemies can hit any of them, but sometimes deal considerably less damage. It's very simple. It has a very easy to follow tutorial, and it's very easy to understand. So if you get into it thinking, oh, it's just too complicated, don't worry, it is not complicated at all. And the best part about this game, it is 100% free. like I said, the only thing you have to pay for is optional, and so you don't really have to pay for it. But if you want the extra cards, go for it. And that concludes my little new game thing, and I shall exit this video with a bit of a start, with a little